Good evening. I want to begin by thanking the members of the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame Foundation and the nominating committee for their consideration and election of me to this outstanding organization. I'm humbled and honored to join so many of my mentors, role models, friends, and fellow officials who are already members of the Alabama Officials Sports Hall of Fame, such as Bob Patrick, Johnny Robinson, Mickey Haddock, and Ron Baines. Most importantly, I want to thank my family, and especially my wife, Shannon, who allowed me to be part of the football officiating profession and to pursue success at every level, from Pee-wee football to the collegiate level. In 2018, I suffered a catastrophic injury during a game that required major surgery by Dr. Lyle Kane, followed by 9 months of physical rehab. Shannon never shared with me the thoughts of some of the rehab specialists that I might ever run again or even return to the field. Without her encouragement, support, and care, none of this tonight would have been possible. A special thank you to my sons Jackson and Henry, who were always extremely honest in their assessment of my on-the-field performance. Jackson, at 12 years old, left me a message at halftime when he correctly caught that we had incorrectly allowed the clock to run out on the last play of the half. And my son Henry, who at 5 years old joined the Clemson fans at a game in booing a call that I'd made. He told Shannon, well, everybody else is. Well, my officiating career began when I walked into a print shop in Opelika, Alabama. The owner was reading a book, and he was printing some brochures. I asked him what he was doing, and he said, I'm studying for the rules exam for high school football. I told him, I always thought I'd like to do that. He tossed me a copy of the rule book and said, the test is next week. If you can pass it, you're in. Well, I studied, I passed the test, and 3 weeks later, I was working my first Alabama Independent School Association high school football game in a driving rainstorm. That was 37 seasons ago. What's amazing is that 3 officials on that crew of the AHSAA, plus one other member, all became Southeastern Conference football officials. We all worked together on a crew in the SEC at one time during our career. College football is one of America's great institutions, and the officials are truly unique individuals. Who else would spend countless hours working in the gym, running outside in the summer heat of Alabama, studying for and taking nerve-wracking rules exams, and traveling across the country every weekend, only to have 100,000 people that you don't know call you an ugly name all at once? There have been so many people who were instrumental in helping me along my officiating journey. Coordinators, coaches, crewmates, mentors, anyone who was willing to provide instruction and opportunities that helped me be successful. I want to thank Bobby Skelton, the late Bobby Skelton, who told me if I wanted to become a college football official, I needed to go see Coach Larry Blakeney at Troy. I needed to volunteer to work every position and every scrimmage, and I did. Dr. Jim Harvey, coordinator of the Southland Football Conference, he hired me for my first college football assignments. Coach Ron Baines, he allowed me to officiate in the Arena Football League. That was a great learning experience, but it was like working a football game in a phone booth. Don Lucas, coordinator with the Sun Belt Conference, he provided me with the opportunity to work FBS football. Steve Shaw, coordinator of the SEC, had confidence in me to work at the highest level of college football for 15 seasons. To all the football officials, crewmates, everyone who allowed me to be part of your crew and your career, thank you for allowing me to learn from each of you. And finally, some of those who are here tonight, Rob Skelton, David Smith, and Steve Marlowe, who as crewmates and fellow officials traveled thousands of miles with me, gave me great advice, and talked me off that proverbial post-game ledge from time to time. In closing, I want to encourage everyone to take time and recognize that the game of football teaches us so many great lessons. We can use these lessons on and off the field. First is alignment. Be where you're supposed to be. The assignment, know what you're supposed to know. Effort, create an environment that motivates you. Execution, as Aristotle said, we become what we repeatedly do. And finish, always run through the line, never just to it. Again, thank you to the Alabama Sports Officials Hall of Fame and the selection committee for this outstanding honor. And congratulations to all of tonight's inductees.